Today I'm taking a look at the FNIRSI portable DC power supply. So we got our instructions, and we have got our power supply. On the top we got our DC port, it says 5 to 32 volts. Got our power delivery port, and then we got our switch so we can choose between them. Got a micro USB port, got our power button on the side. It's like an adjustment wheel, or negative and our positive. And nothing on that side. Looks like all of our navigation buttons are here on the front. Here are our leads. They are color coded. Got a banana clip on one side, and we got our alligator clip on the other. Then we got our power cable that is USB-A to micro USB. Okay, let's hit home. And we'll change that to English. There we go. So we can change the theme. We can change the brightness. So if we're in a dark room, we can darken that up so we're not blinding ourselves. And if we're outside or in a very bright environment, we can bring that up. Volume. So if you don't like hearing the beep, we can turn that down. Metering, open and close. So here we can set our power limits. So it looks like we can go to 30 volts, 5 amps. 30 times 5 is 150, so we can set our overpower to 150 watts. And that's nice. It actually has a temperature controller right there as well. Oh, and it has an under voltage. So that way if it drops the volts too low, it'll just cut it off. So if we want to adjust that, we would just put it where we want it and then set it with this dial. So here we got the home screen. We got the V set, so this is where we're going to set the volts. We got I set, that's where we're going to set the amps. And then this will read us the total watts. So right now we can see it is inputting 3.5 volts from this port. So let's put this on power delivery and plug in a power supply from my computer. There we go. So now we are reading 5.11 volts. Now if we wanted to output, hit that. That's cool. So it actually lights up those ports on the bottom. Now we're not really seeing any amps or watts because I don't have anything plugged into that to draw. We can see it is outputting 4.96 volts. Now this button on the bottom, that is going to be our waveform. So we can see 4.96 volts, that is our yellow line, and then 0 amps, that is our blue line. We also have presets, so that is M, and we have 6 of those. If we want to change it, press and hold. We'll make this one 1 volt, and save. So right now we're on M2, M3 should be 1 volt. There we go, so we can see M3 is 1 volt, 1 amp. And we could do that for all 6. So I'm going to grab an LED. Long leg is positive, short leg is negative. So right now I got it set to 0.1 volts, 0.1 amps. I also really like that this thing flips up so I can see it when I'm in front of it. Okay, so we have got 0.1 volts. It is not currently drawing anything. Let's adjust the volts. Just going to bring it up a little bit at a time because I'm not sure what the voltage rating for these LEDs is. Okay, starting to see a little bit. See, that guy is lighting up. All right, we have got light. So it is currently pulling 0.004 amps. So we do have a power supply. Next, I want to check it for accuracy. So it's set to 1 volt, it's putting out 0.976. That is pretty darn close. Let's go to 2. 3. Okay, so we are within 0.14 volts at 5 volts. Not too bad. So overall, that is a pretty neat power supply. The only thing I think is a little bit weird about it is it does not come with a power supply capable of delivering 32 volts to the power supply. So I basically consider this to be more of a power converter. If I was going to be using this thing full time, what I would probably do is I would find some kind of a power supply that puts out 32 volts with a barrel connector, and I would connect that, and I would just keep that with this. Now without that, we can still put out 3 volts. Not going to be a heck of a lot of amps, but that is going to be enough power to turn on an LED or something along those lines. So overall, that is a neat little power supply.